in their dark blue tops, light blue shorts. They're going to be moving from right to left across your screen. Penn State going to start with possession in their home whites, blue numbers, blue letters to go with it. It's Natalie Wilson kicking us off, and we're underway on this beautiful Sunday at Jeffrey Field here in University Park, Pennsylvania. Ending a busy weekend on the campus of Penn State despite football being off. Plenty of athletic events around campus. Field hockey going on right now, and volleyball with a big tournament. And now women's soccer looking to end it as Jordan Fusco brings it across midfield, gets tripped up, no call. And the ball the way of Columbia momentarily until it's taken away from Devin Olive. She was looking for an outlet pass to Caitlin McBean. It goes awry, and Columbia gets the throw in on the far side of the field.
So already, Justin, we can see that it's a bit of a rotated lineup for the Nittany Lions in this one. Like you said, Bella Askew getting her first start, and I like that from Erica Dombach to give Askew the start after she had an incredible performance getting that assist versus Michigan.
Amelia White with speed towards the 18-yard box, now in, pushes even further in. Big shot that time for McBean, and it hits off her own teammate and eventually finds Lauren Rodriguez. Looked like it got the back of Natalie Wilson in the box, and Columbia avoids trouble early. Penn State with a great chance, led by Amelia White.
And that's what you can't do if you're Columbia, is give Penn State an early chance. Thankfully for Columbia, it didn't turn into anything as McBean's shot, like you said, hitting off the back of her own teammate. But the Nittany Lions, they smell blood in the water early.
Nittany Lions, heavy defensive presence as Columbia was looking to clear it out of their defensive third. Instead it goes out, so Penn State will get the throw in on this near side of the field.
And Erica Dombach loves to press, and it's incredibly effective, especially against teams that the Nittany Lions know don't love to play in possession and don't love to play out of the back. Dombach, you'll see in this one, she's going to make sure that it's incredibly hard for Columbia to play out of the back.
Turnover right at the center circle, and now it's Ramirez with it for the Lions. Ramirez circles back, will pass it out towards the midfield stripe. With it is Elder. She passed it off. They get it further back down. Ferrone now gets it up top to Bitzer. Bitzer back to Elder. Elder on the far side, Fusco on her. Pass even further, goes off of Amelia White. There'll be a throw in on that far side for Columbia. Throw in. Momentarily, Fusco had it. She lost it. Now Ferrone with it. Now bringing it to the near side of the field. It's turned over. Askew with it. Askew pressured hard by Columbia. Turns it over, and now the Lions can come the other way, but they're running back towards their defensive side to set something up on the offensive end. That pass goes out. Caitlin McBean with the pressure that time applied all over Courtney Root. The throw in from Askew goes backwards. That time to Fontenot.
So the Nittany Lions early on in this, they play in a 3-5-2 attacking that turns into a 5-3-2 defensively. And what it does for Penn State is not only does it give them more players on the attacking end, as you know, but it's very hard for teams to defend against it because they kind of play positionless football, in which Penn State, they'll bring players in like McBean that'll kind of check into the midfield to receive passes. Players like D'Amico, Askew on the far side will come in and will switch with players in the middle like a Molly Martin. And what that does is that it makes it hard for Columbia or other teams to defend in man marking, which is what Columbia likes to do.
Molly Martin sliding to get it, can't exactly, and coming away with it, Nata Ramirez that time for Columbia, turns it right back over the legs of Molly Martin. Shimon with it, passes it back to Amanda Poorbaugh. Redshirt junior, dribbles it around, now goes for the pass towards midfield, misses Jordan Fusco. Columbia looked like they had it, but they didn't. Fusco with a nice pass to Natalie Wilson. Wilson over to Askew. Askew looking to get it through, can't, behind the defensive pressure of the Lions. Now Devin Olive with it. Olive putting it towards the box, and Rodriguez will come up and take it out of the air.
Early on in this one, Askew, who's making her first career start for the Nittany Lions, she looks a little nervous. There was a play just a moment ago where she didn't register, she had a man on her back, and lost the ball to a Columbia defender, and then right there she tried to hit that first time instead of taking a touch and registering that she had time and space to find a better option. And I want to see whether she can grow into this match later on.
Ramirez had it, gets it over to the center circle. Pass it back. Root can't catch up to it, neither can Cone. And that's a turnover that gives Penn State a throw-in. As Bella Askew, the freshman from Apex, North Carolina, one of 4 top 100 recruits in Penn State's class of 2024. Number 98 in the country was Askew. She gets the start, her first career start in her 9th career game.
So Erica Dombach just a moment ago shouting to Molly Martin to give her some instruction. Penn State has played pretty much the entirety of the match on one side. And Erica Dombach wants Molly Martin to kind of be the director in that center defensive mid position and to switch the point of attack a bit more so that the Nittany Lions can attack down both sides against Columbia.
Martin just gave direction to Fontenot to pass it over to Shima. Trying to control the ball and quarterback this offense. Shimon out to the far side, Amelia White. White trying to get it around the defender, but can't, as Marcia Ojo all over that one, does go out. So White gets another throw in this time for Penn State. Got it to Martin, who gave it right back. Back to Molly Martin. Tries to feed Fusco. Pass unsuccessful. Ferrone all over that one for the Lions of Columbia. Cone kicking towards midfield. It goes to Mika Shimon. Shimon to Martin. Martin to Fusco. Fusco through pass to McBean. McBean with an opportunity. Her shot off the crossbar. Caitlin McBean looking for goal number 10 of the season. Can't quite get it there. Penn State still with possession. It's White. White into the box. She tries to move around the defenders and can't. And Penn State now going to play the defensive effort as Nata Ramirez with it on the far side.
Caitlin McBean, it's a run that she loves to make, coming from the center of the box to the near side. I am shocked she was able to get that even close to the goal with a defender right on her back and the goalkeeper there. But a great effort from her, and the crossbar unforgiving.
Devin Olive forces the turnover. Now she's looking for the through ball to McBean. She won't be able to get it, just a little too hard on the pass, and Rodriguez goes to the grass to cover it up.
So Justin, early on in this, it's been a bit sloppy for both sides. As we go to the replay, McBean just tried to chip that ball past the goalkeeper. Close. Nearly got it there in the crossbar, helping out Columbia.
Columbia pressured hard by Penn State. That one kicks right off of Fusco and out. So throw in for Sam Cone.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Fusco gets it in, but it's headed back out. Right to Devin Olive. Her shot attempt sails into the net, over the net.
And that's a shot from Devin Olive that maybe she wouldn't have taken a couple of weeks ago, but after that Michigan goal that she had in a very similar situation, it was the second ball that she picked up just outside the box. Hit it goalwards, and it went in courtesy of a deflection from a Michigan center back. Olive maybe a bit more audacious and a bit more, excited on that situation to maybe have her second from a very similar position.
Olive with her first points of the season on that goal against the Wolverines. Here's Olive with the ball. She's going to pass it over, that time to Amelia White. White in the center of the field, gives it to Martin. Martin gives it back to Fontenot. Fontenot to Shimon. Talk about Devin Olive just a second ago, one of 9 players being recognized here on Senior Day. Olive, a graduate student, gets her chance to be recognized as Fontenot moves closer towards that 18-yard box, now passes it out to Askew. Martin foul McBean, right back to McBean. That time looking for Wilson, it just goes right over her, also over Ferrone, and that allows Rodriguez to pick it up.
Going back to Amelia White, there's a reason Erica Dombach continuously starts her and just loves the Penn State winger. It's that Amelia White does all the little things right, and she does a lot of the dirty work. It might not show up on the score sheet, just 2 assists through 8 games, 8 starts this season, but White setting up her teammates and being a really important player in the attack, not only for Penn State, but for herself. She's a player that has a ton of pace, and that's what Erica Dombach loves.
Turnover, Fusco, great opportunity. Fusco into the box, her shot, score! Lower right corner, Jordan Fusco gets Penn State on the board. Her 3rd goal of the season, and the Tennessee transfer comes through for the Nittany Lions. Points up to 11 on the season.
Jordan Fusco on this replay here. It's simple from her. She doesn't need to go into the box. She doesn't need a great look at goal. She just needs some time on the ball to place it with the inside of her foot into that bottom right corner, like you said. A simple finish from her, a finish of a striker who has done that time and time again for 2 very, very strong programs in women's soccer. Pick that one out of the back of your net.
14 goals with Tennessee as this one bounces on to poor ball. 14 goals with Tennessee, 3 with the Nittany Lions. Fusco also one of the 9 to be recognized here on Senior Day, and she opens the scoring. Just past 15 minutes gone here at Jeffrey Field in a 16th minute of action.
And this is why for Columbia, they might only have 2 or 3 chances in this match, and they need to be clinical with them. Through 15 minutes, we've seen Columbia, there are only 2 real chances, a corner kick, and then a mistake by the Nittany Lions back line, which led to a chance from about 30 yards out for Columbia on an open net. But Penn State, they have the goal, they have the opening goal. This is what Erica Dombach wanted. Now it's a situation of, can we turn that goal into 2 and 3, and can we put this game to bed early, or will we give Columbia a chance to come back into this match?
Penn State with a couple big wins this season. You think opening the season against number 8 Texas Tech 4-0, win over Westchester 5-0, and the win over Michigan that we've talked about as a turnover leads to an opportunity. Shot blocked that time, feet all over that one. As Tavion looked for a lane to get on towards Porba, but just couldn't find anything.
Yeah, it was a bad turnover from Hare, but the Nittany Lions quickly surrounding Columbia, making sure they didn't have any chance of their own on the turnover.
McBean hesitates. That one kicked out that time from the defensive pressure of Courtney Root, senior from Wayne, New Jersey, an All-Ivy League honorable mention a year ago for this Columbia squad that won its first NCAA tournament game in program history, beating the Big Ten's Rutgers. Shimon at center with it. Fortuno with it. Pass goes awry, ends up with Annie Ferrone. Ferrone's pass this time misses Tavion. Fortuno struggled with it for a second, but got it quickly to Shimon before Tavion could get there for the Lions of Columbia. Askew, turnover to Tavion. Tavion. Her pass taken away that time from Fusco. Fusco having a really good start through the first 20-ish minutes of this match.
And whether it's legs for the Nittany Lions, fatigue after playing just 3 days ago, whether it's the fact that maybe Columbia is a weaker opponent that the Nittany Lions think they can roll over, Penn State's been careless with their passes through the opening 20 minutes.
Careless pass this time from Columbia. Fusco looks for McBean, a slight bit behind her, and Columbia comes away with it.
The thing with Penn State and Columbia as well is that the Lions haven't been able to really trouble Penn State despite their careless passes. We saw 2 of them. Tavion nearly got on one, and then Columbia did get on a second careless pass from Askew just a moment ago, but the Nittany Lions quickly surrounding in kind of like a counter press, gegenpress style of play, and quickly winning the ball off of Columbia. But if the Lions can put together 2 or 3 passes when they win the ball to beat the initial Penn State pressure, they can set up better attacks. They just haven't so far.
Molly Martin comes away with the ball, gets it to Fortuno. Now Shimon with it. Olive looking for Wilson, pass offline. Wilson couldn't catch up to it. Ball ends up with Askew, who gives it off to Ferrone of Columbia.
Penn State, when they bring their pressure, it's sometimes with 2 strikers, it's sometimes with 3 strikers. Is sometimes Jordan Fusco will come up and mark the opposing either defensive mid or center back. Either way for the Nittany Lions, currently with their press, they've forced double-digit kind of just errant clearances from Columbia so far. Something that absolutely I'm sure Erica Dombach is happy about, because Penn State, they win the ball high up the pitch, as we see here with this throw-in.
Amelia White threw it in, got it right back. Shimon looking for Martin, couldn't connect, and Columbia comes away with it. Ramirez looking for Tabion, she's got her. Tabion into the 18 or just outside of it. Crosses, good pass that time, but nothing doing on it. As the defense from Fontenot catches up to Anya Prusak.
Prusak, I don't think she thought the ball was going to reach her. It was kind of a half-hearted effort from her when the ball finally did. It was a tough volley at an awkward height. Either way, though, better from Columbia, kind of growing into this match after the goal from Penn State.
Fontenot with it. Now Shimon. Molly Martin through the circle, looking for a lead pass. Couldn't connect with Amelia White. Martin makes up for it, but she takes down Columbia's player in the process. That's Sophia Cavalier going down. She gets back up under her own power.
It's been relatively clean so far. I mean, the referee hasn't really been called into this match, and it's something that the Nittany Lions are happy about after the Michigan match, where there was a couple of interesting challenges, shall we say. The Penn State wants to play a bit of a cleaner match.
Much cleaner in the early goings here as Bitzer gives it off. Lead pass to Cone. Through ball. Not going to go and connect with Cone, so Penn State comes away with it. Nittany Lions getting ready to make some substitutions. 3 coming in for the Nittany Lions, 1 coming in for Columbia.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Started all of them last year for Penn State. 6 goals, 3 assists, 15 points. She's got 7 goals and 17 points on her career. Cone hesitates at midfield, kicks it back to Root, who gives it off to Rodriguez. Rodriguez called her name a couple of times, but hasn't been necessarily too busy. As a number 12 team in the country, Penn State does have the goal. They also have one that hit off the crossbar. Fontenot to Shimon. Now Borgen. Right through the legs of Cone. She gets it off to Scott. Scott looking for Kolpa. Kolpa fighting the defense for it and takes down the defender in the process. That's Root that went down.
Kolpa, another freshman for Penn State in that top drawer, top 100, like you mentioned, alongside Askew. A player early on in this season, really, really good preseason, and Erica Dombach has rewarded her with a ton of minutes early on, the freshman, and she has absolutely made the most of it. 3 goals and 2 assists on the year through 8 games.
Borgen gives it to Fusco. Fancy pass, Fusco has to spin around. Scott's gonna try to catch up to it, she can't. Columbia comes away with it. Never mind, they are going to give the ball to Penn State. Katie Scott, the freshman from Pennsylvania. Playing for her home state team in Penn State. Fontenot looking across the field on the pass. Gets it to Hare.
Mika Shimon, who is with the ball right now, she plays center back very differently than a lot of other players that you see in collegiate soccer, and I like to think that it's because of playing youth soccer in Germany, where she's been asked and kind of demanded to have the ball and to be much better with the ball at her feet a lot more. She's a player that I think could play a number of different positions on this field. I think she could play in the midfield role just because of how comfortable she is on the ball, and I think that's part of the reason of that is because of her playing, youth soccer and even professional soccer for a little while in Germany.
Shimon in her 71st career game, 70th career start for the Nittany Lions. 9 goals, 8 assists, 26 points for the Berlin, Germany native. Air gives it away. Columbia with it, far side of the field. Dribbling around. More substitutions on the way. So ball up. And Shimon comes away with it.
And Justin, like you mentioned, for Penn State, it'll be Kirshner, Rach, and Wolf. All 3 players that made an impact and played versus Michigan 3 days ago. The Nittany Lions, with so many matches in such quick time, just trying to manage legs and make sure all of their players are at least somewhat fresh.
They've got the star-studded depth to do so. Already seen some come off the bench and make immediate impacts for Penn State. Kolpa, Scott, and Borgen. This pass to Cone. She won't be able to catch up to it. Too tough from Prusak that time, and now changes come in for the Nittany Lions, as well as one coming in for Columbia.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
It's high, and Kaylin Wolf will kick it out. So we'll throw in for Columbia. As we head further on, just under 7 left in this first half. Throw in, headed away by Wolf. Borgen leaves it up in the air looking for Cook. It's taken away that time from Cavalier. Got it to Bitzer. Bitzer passed it further on, and Bitzer now back with it. Justina Bitzer pushes in. We'll pass it off to Berry. Berry trying to work around Scott. Through pass into the box. That one kicked out, and Corball makes a last-second effort on it, stopping it. There's a couple of ricochets made that one a lot more dangerous than it initially looked.
Like you said, a couple of ricochets. It was Stephanie Jung who had the opportunity. She didn't catch that ball terribly cleanly, and it deflected. But I think the fact that Corball was shielded by her own team helped her out with that save, because I don't know if she had seen it clearly, and then it takes a deflection, whether she would have dove already and that ball would have bounced into the back of the net. Thankfully, the fact that she was shielded helped her out. She saw it late, but came over, and it was a slow roller, and she was able to make the save.
She keeps the shutout effort intact for the Nittany Lions. Nittany Lions have not allowed a goal over their last 3 matches. Against Princeton, Georgetown, and Michigan. Have to go back to their match with St. Louis. As this one finds its way to Rodriguez. That one went off the foot of Bitzer. And took an awkward hop. Rodriguez there for it. Goes down to the ground to get it.
Rodriguez, she's been very, very good in coming out to make sure that, and kind of controlling her box. It's had an unfortunate situation that she's let up 2 goals, but really she couldn't do anything on either of them. The goal from Fusco and then the penalty kick from Shimon.
Kolpa finds Borgen. Borgen, tough defense all over her. Her shot goes backwards, deflected by the Lions. Multiple defenders there. As Kaylin Wolf comes away with it.
It's always tough on the stat sheet as a goalkeeper when you let up multiple goals in a game. It's even worse when you know that it wasn't your fault on either of them.
41st minute of action here at Jeffrey Field. First half expiring as the Nittany Lions lead 2-0.
I think Julia Rach thought that that was a player in Penn State blue on the far side instead of a player in Columbia blue.
The throw-in goes awry. The Nittany Lions find it. Shimon. Up to Rach. Rach kicks it through to Cook. That one headed off. Great play by Root. It finds Cook anyway. Cook finds Scott. Scott's pass deflects. She's got to go collect at the Big Ten logo. Does so successfully. Finds Kaylin Wolf. Wolf to Shimon. Shimon threading it through. Can't though, as the defense too much. Now the Nittany Lions make a good play on it. Coming away with it, Borgen. Borgen makes a move around a defender towards the box. Looking on the pass, the shot can't be controlled from Kirshner, and the Nittany Lions opportunity goes by the wayside.
And what a goal that would have been from Kirshner. Borgen, who got the ball back from her own pass and then made a very good move to get by her defender. You can see on the replay here, clipped it back in towards the box. Kirshner tried the full volley with the right foot, couldn't get that on target. Still, Penn State, they're controlling this one heading into the break.
Gleason and D'Amico come in for the Nittany Lions. Kolpa, her shot deflects high up in the air. There's D'Amico pressuring for it. Now Kolpa. Kolpa and D'Amico both there for the double team. Pass gets through to Berry. Borgen takes it away. Gleason with it. Riley Gleason gives it up to Kaylin Wolf. Wolf tries to lead Elle Kirshner. She can't. The ball out. Penn State gets a throw in. The 43rd minute. That one headed off on the throw. And the ball will go the way of the Lions. Columbia Lions, that is.
So Justin, Penn State, through the opening 45, the chances have not been as fruitful as versus Michigan, but they still have been able to take their chances well. In my opinion, I think heading into the break, Erica Dombach's not only, the first thing she's going to look at is managing minutes, who's played a decent amount in both games. The second thing I think she's going to look at is in this last non-conference game, is there anything that we want to try before the Big Ten, and especially before Michigan State on Thursday, which will probably be the toughest game Penn State will play the rest of the season. Is there anything that we want to try, any new tactics? Do we want to switch formations from the 3-5-2 into maybe a 4-3-3 or even a 5-3-2?
Scott avoids the turnover from Wolf. Scott gonna pass it the other way to Rach. Rach looking for Kirshner. She finds her. Far side, Kirshner pushes into the 18-yard box. Kirshner shot, that one too wide. Elle Kirshner with back-to-back opportunities for the Nittany Lions. One shot goes high, one goes wide.
She was trying to play that on across the face of the goal to either get that into the side netting or maybe get one of her teammates an easy tap in on the far side. The thing was, both Penn State players in the box had made runs to the front post with nobody sitting on the back post.
In the 45th minute, 60 seconds to go in the first half at Jeffrey Field. Nittany Lions over the Columbia Lions 2-0. Justin Chevalella, Owen Camaros bringing you the action here on Big Ten Plus as Berry finds Ferron for Columbia. Jump, brings it over midfield. Still time for one last effort. Here's the opportunity for Columbia. Good defense that time, though, from the Nittany Lions, sniffing out that attempt.
So on the set piece, Columbia having to go as fast as possible. They only have 14 seconds to get this ball in.
Corner kick for Columbia. Quick kick. That one towards the box, looking for the header. Headed out by Shimon, and Kaylin Wolf kicks it out. And that's how this first half is going to end. The Nittany Lions lead by 2. Fusco and Shimon with the goals. The Nittany Lions continuing to shut out their opponents. Strong defensive effort in that half. Had one hit the crossbar, had one hit Natalie Wilson in the back. You see the first half stats for Penn State. 2 goals on 6 shots. No goals on 3 shots for Columbia. Both teams with 2 corner kicks. We flipped. So it's Columbia in their multi-blue kits going from left to right across your screen. Penn State in their white and blues going from right to left. Right now it's Columbia controlling the action. Prusak turns it over. Good play, hard hustle on the defensive end from Amelia White. Oh, and you had mentioned earlier in the game, thing that makes White a must start for Erica Dombach is her ability to do the little things right, and right there she forces a throw in for Nittany Lions.
Yeah, like you said, Amelia White, a player that hasn't really found her mark in terms of on the score sheet this year, just 2 assists, but she's been integral. I think the game that I saw that really kind of cemented it for both me and Erica Dombach. Was that game versus Virginia, and while Penn State did lose that game 2-1 versus the Cavaliers, the Nittany Lions and Amelia White in particular had an incredible performance and really set up her teammates in a number of different ways. She's really, really good on the dribble and one-on-one. She has the quickness to get by pretty much any defender that will come against her on this left wing, and loves to get the ball into the box, but will also go herself if she has the time and space.
Rodriguez collects there. Just into the 2nd minute of the 2nd half.
In the first half, while Columbia, they did well to get the ball and have extended possession and extended time in the attacking third, as that foul will go the way of Columbia. What Columbia wasn't able to do, and what really kind of made it difficult for the visitors, was when they got the ball into Penn State's defensive third, everything slowed down, whether it would be a couple of times long shots from 25 yards out that wouldn't test Porba, or defensive, or offensive breakdowns, maybe a misplaced pass or a bad touch. Either way, Columbia, they've had chances in the final third, they just haven't really been able to make that final pass.
Columbia might be looking for that final pass here as Ramirez puts it on. An opportunity that time that Amanda Porba comes up and robs from the Lions.
Really well done from Porba there. It was kind of a slower looping cross into the box, but still dangerous, as there were multiple Columbia players right around Porba, but she came out with steady hands to make that catch.
Ramirez was trying to connect with Tabion, who had her leg up, just missed the ball coming through as Porba came up. Now Amelia White to the other end. White looking for McBean. Pass too hard, and Rodriguez collects again. Talk about that opportunity on the other end. Keeps Penn State's shutout streak alive. Again, 3 full games in the final 43 minutes and 25 seconds against St. Louis. So coming into this half of action, 313 minutes and 25 seconds of consecutive shutout soccer from this Nittany Lion team. It's continued in large part due to Amanda Porba on that opportunity coming up and robbing the chance for Maya Tabion.
And Porba, like you said, the over 300 consecutive minutes of goalless action against Penn State, that is something that Porba, she might not know it, but I'm sure it'll be said to her, and it's something that I'm sure she will take pride in. This year, Porba, she's only been scored on in 3 games. It was the 2 goals versus Virginia, 1 goal versus St. Louis, and then another versus West Virginia. Overall, she's had 5 clean sheets this season. And more than that, she's been devoid of mistakes, and that's been something that has plagued Penn State in previous years, and frankly has plagued keepers in the Big Ten this year versus Penn State, has been goalkeeping errors. And Porba, besides maybe 1 versus Virginia that I remember, has really not made any mistakes that have led to goals this season.
Had a bit of a scary moment in the first half when she kind of caught herself in the middle of if she should come out of the box or stay in. But did a nice job to get it as Caitlin McBean taken down right in front of us, right in front of the official drawing the whistle.
Aoife Turner, it was 14 on 14 foul there.
Now it's 4 taking it for Penn State in Hare. She gives it to Molly Martin. Shimon. Gives it back to Porba. McBean can't corral it, and coming away with it are the Lions of Columbia. They're going to turn it right back over. Amelia White and Fusco get crossed up right in the middle, and that leads to Ferrone coming away with it. Now Turner. Turner. Pass goes awry, and coming away with it is Hare.
Kaylee Hare, making her 9th start of the season, has played and has started all 9 games so far.
Ramirez making the push past the Big Ten logo, looking for Prusak, who ducked out of the way of it, thinking someone was behind her. The only one there was Fontenot of the Nittany Lions, so the Nittany Lions have it.
Like I said, though, Kaylee Hare, she started on this left side, opposite of Fontenot and next to Shimon. And for Penn State, it's been those 3 pretty much the entire season. Sometimes Wolf will come in for one of the center backs who needs a break, but for Erica Dombach and the Nittany Lions to have 3 solid center backs and a formation and a lineup that demands 3 center backs that can really be strong defensively even when down numbers, as they were here for the moment. It's something that Dombach loves, the 3 players, all of them with incredible chemistry between them.
Wilson looking for the through ball to McBean. McBean works around a defender and then blocked. That ball floats up into the air, now goes out. Justina Bitzer, nice play on that one, and then McBean heads up to steer clear of it, let it go out, and award Penn State the corner.
Justin, the reason that Kaylin McBean is so good for Penn State is she needs 2 or 3 chances. She needs just one moment. She can be pretty much, unseen for 89 minutes, but give her the ball in the box or one chance, as we saw versus Michigan, and she will punish you. And that is why Penn State loves their talisman up top.
Fusco hoping to punish Columbia here. That one towards the box, looking for the header, and Nittany Lions don't get it. Kicked back out to Fusco on the near sideline. Fusco right back through. That pass a little bit too long. Natalie Wilson catches up to it. Her pass misses everybody, and now a fight between Ramirez and Shimon. Ramirez came away with it. Her pass deflected back by Rebecca Cook, and now it's Columbia taking it forward. Prusak, Amelia White will give it back to Poorbaugh as the Nittany Lions calm things down for a quick second.
Yeah, and Penn State just swarmed Prusak there. She had the ball and a chance to go on the counter, but 4 or 5 Penn State players around her forces her to just boot it forward back to Penn State. And the Nittany Lions with that counter press, the moment they lose the ball or the moment Columbia has a chance, Penn State, the first couple, 2 or 3 players nearest to the ball, they instantly swarm and make it difficult for Columbia to play out of their press. And oftentimes it forces clears, like you just saw, to give the ball right back to Penn State.
Well, Cavalier has it for Columbia. Long pass over to Cone on the far side. Cone dribbles it. Now the pass, or at least looking for one, it does not connect. Looking to lead Maya Tabian. Instead, it'll be Poorbaugh.
And that's a tough location to play across in with the right foot, because it's an in-swinging. If you're going to play the ball with the inside of your right foot there, it's an in-swinging cross, which means it's going to bounce and curve towards the end line, making it very difficult for any player in blue to get on the end of that cross. And Tabian, it would have been tough for her to even get a foot on that ball, and she wouldn't have been able to control it or get it goalwards even if she had got a touch on it.
White works around the defense, now gives it over to McBean. McBean with an opportunity moments ago, now looking for the through ball to White. Just too hard on it. Turner with some nice defense, and that gives Columbia the ball.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Same run. Running goalwards, none of them stayed at the top of the box for maybe a ball played back, cut back towards the top of the box. All of them made the same run, and what does that do for Penn State? Well, it means Shimon can stand right in between all 3 of them, and she can mark all 3 players.
Angel Akaniraga comes in for Columbia. One substitution, heavy contact. Going down was Kaylee Hare. She quick gets up, restart. As Shimon gives it to Martin. Martin to Fontenot. Akaniraga all over her. Akaniraga takes it away from her. And now Ferrone with it. Ferrone to Cone. Cone, similar spot she just was. And that one blocked by Fusco. And that's going to go to the corner for Columbia. Their third corner, first of the second half.
The Nittany Lions this year have been incredibly good defending corner kicks. They have not let up a set piece goal at home all season. Columbia are going to hopefully break that for Penn State. As you can see, I always appreciate the guy with the drum who runs it 50 meters all the way to the side to bang it right in the ear of whoever the visiting player is taking the corner.
Appears to be Prusak. She puts it through, looking for the header. McBean headers it out. It finds Cavalier. Cavalier looked for a shot. Wilson was in the way of it. Back with Cavalier. Wilson kicks it out, and now Bitzer puts it in further towards the box. Turnaround shot gets on a Pourbaugh, not a problem. Nice little turnaround by Courtney Root, but not enough power to get it past the goalkeeper for the Nittany Lions.
Yeah, it was a weaker effort from Root, and like we said, you know, two shots on goal in the first half for Columbia. The first one in the second half for them, but they've all, besides the one that deflected and finally found Pourbaugh, the other ones have been kind of weaker efforts that haven't really been able to trouble the Penn State goalkeeper, and in part due to the incredible play of the Penn State back line.
Air taken down, no call. McBean gets it on to Cook. Cook with another opportunity, dribbles it around, but Rodriguez on the ground makes an unbelievable stop on Cook's attempt. Rebecca Cook trying to go around Lauren Rodriguez, but instead Rodriguez squirms on the ground and manages to get her hand on it and throw Cook off.
Yeah, Cook trying to round the goalkeeper there, like you mentioned. Rodriguez, a last-ditch effort, made sure that she wasn't going to bring Cook down, got her fingertips on the ball, saving a goal for Columbia.
Ball finds Cook again, turnaround too high.
That's a tough turnaround effort there from Cook. She's been dangerous for Penn State in the second half. A number of good efforts. As we're going to go to this last effort from Cook, you can see did well to take a touch around the Columbia goalkeeper, but an even better stop for Lauren Rodriguez.
Kirshner and Gleason check in for the Nittany Lions. White and Wilson check out for the Nittany Lions. Nittany Lions looking for their 7th win, sit at 6-1-1. They're up 2-0 if they can hold on to it. It'll end non-conference play. The next 10, the final 10 for the Nittany Lions, all against Big Ten opponents. Already 1-0 against the Big Ten. Kirshner had a goal against the Big Ten opponent in Michigan. Headed back out, Ojo.
And Penn State, as we know, they continue Big Ten play with a bang in just 4 days. They will play against Northwestern, and then just a bit later than that, they have Michigan State, who currently is ranked the highest ranked in the Big Ten at number 5, according to the coaches' poll.
Penn State at number 12 coming into the day. They were again picked to finish second rather in the Big Ten. As Pourbaugh is going to have to kick this one away at the last second. Akinirga was the lone Columbia Lion there and nearly had a good effort.
Yeah, that 5 versus 12 matchup between Penn State and Michigan State in a week from now on Sunday is likely going to determine, well, first off, it will probably determine who wins the Big Ten, because I could see Michigan State, besides the Penn State game, if Michigan State can beat Penn State, I don't think there's any other team in the Big Ten that will give them that much trouble, at least if you go by what they've done this year.
McBean got it through the legs of Elder. It's going to result in a corner kick for the Nittany Lions. It's going to be their 5th.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
2 ranked matchups in there after Thursday's matchup against Northwestern.
And what a season Iowa's had to start. Iowa, who a lot of people weren't sure whether they would kind of continue their success, has really showed up and is now ranked number 17 in the United Soccer in the United Soccer Coaches ranking, number 20 in the top drawer soccer ranking.
The Hawkeyes having a good year. They will see Penn State just a little while.
In the preseason poll, the 2024 Big Ten Conference preseason poll, they were projected to finish 8th, not only behind UCLA, Penn State, Michigan State, the other 3 teams ranked in the Big Ten, all of them projected to finish in the top 3, but also behind Nebraska, USC, Wisconsin, and Rutgers. So beating expectations so far is the Hawkeyes.
Columbia's cone. It hits off of Fontenot and out. So corner coming for Columbia, matching Penn State's 4 corners now. Nittany Lions and Lions. Looks to be Elder going to that far side corner, if my eyes aren't deceiving me. Tima Elder. Far side.
On the flip side for Penn State, so we'll get back to it in a moment.
Here comes from the corner. Headed back up and headed back out that time from the Nittany Lions. Gleason gets it a little bit further, put right back into the box by Columbia and Bitzer. And now taken down in the box was Fontenot. And the whistle comes, the ball the way of the blue and white.
On the flip side in this, Big Ten, Nebraska, who a lot of people predicted after, their 2023 campaign, in which they made the NCAA tournament quarterfinals, a lot of people predicted that they would be kind of the dark horse in the Big Ten. They were ranked in the preseason poll behind UCLA, Penn State, and Michigan State, but really hasn't gone the way that I'm sure Nebraska would have liked this year.
Kirshner misses what could have been an outlet pass to get the offense generated. Nittany Lions with their 2 goals coming in the first half. Their shots on goal, both of them, resulting in those goals. Just 2 shots total in the second half. Cook gives it to Scott. Scott to Martin. Martin now Gleason. Riley Gleason turns around. Kalen Wolf recently substituted into the game. Martin, quick pass to Scott, misses, Cone comes away with it. And then big contact between the two. Nothing called, but the ball the way of the Lions.
So like I was saying on Nebraska, that'll be Penn State plays Nebraska, 1 p.m. on September 29th. That'll be on national television on the Big Ten Network. Nebraska started the year ranked number 6 and then lost twice in Oklahoma, first to Oklahoma and then to Oklahoma State University, before beating Colorado State, but then that tough 3-0 loss to Duke. Later on, the other 2 games that have really been tough for Nebraska, a 1-0 loss at Portland, and then a 2-0 loss at Iowa, and they play away at Michigan State on Thursday. So another team that pretty much the opposite of Iowa. While Iowa is exceeding expectations in this Big Ten campaign, Nebraska falling.
Every year you're going to have some teams that surprise and some teams that disappoint. One team that seemingly does the same thing every year and live up to expectations is this Penn State team that has made the NCAA tournament 17 consecutive times. Rebecca Cook looking for the pass to McBean, but it misses and kicked away and out of the box by Elder. Full sail substitutions, 3 coming in for the Nittany Lions, 1 coming in for Columbia.
That'll be Keegan Schmeiser, one of the substitutions for Penn State. She made her debut this season versus Michigan and had a good performance, got an assist.
Ramirez comes back in for Columbia. Of those that come out, Martin, Fontenot, and Caitlin McBean. And Cone, comes out for Columbia.
So Justin, with 16 minutes to go and a bit of change, Penn State comfortably holding this 2-0 lead. If I'm a player on Columbia, I'm either At this point in time, it's either time to accept the defeat or time to throw everything to the Wolves and go for gold. And we'll see what Columbia elects to do, but through these last 10 minutes, we've really just seen Penn State comfortable with the ball in Columbia. I've seen a couple of heads begin to drop, a couple of shoulders begin to slump.
Couple of opportunities for Penn State within those last 10 minutes you talk about. Really nothing on the other end. Really the majority of this second half, but especially within those last 10 that you speak of, Owen.
Yeah, and that's the issue with teams playing against Penn State, is that the Nittany Lions really, they do well to make sure that other teams don't have good chances against Penn State. Pretty much we've seen, I think, go back to that Virginia game, the one loss the Nittany Lions have had this year. It was the 2 goals for Virginia were both mistakes by the Nittany Lions that led to goals. Penn State this year against great teams, Texas Tech to start the year and other teams like that, they don't give up other teams' chances from the run of play very much.
Askew missed the header. This leads to an opportunity for Columbia. Into the box with it. Shot headed out by Shimon. Nice job in the lane from Mika Shimon. Again, one of the 9 seniors to be recognized. You can find the entire Senior Day celebration following the conclusion of this game. We'll keep it live here on Big Ten Plus and let PA announcer Eric Olson take over. For now, Columbia hoping to play spoiler. They're going to need a comeback late as they turn it over with their deepest offensive possession in quite some time. And the Nittany Lions breaking out the other way. Through ball to Cook. Cook all alone. She's offside.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Has had a great run here with the Nittany Lions. We talked about it early, 17 consecutive NCAA tournament appearances. That's all 17 years she has been here. 11 Big Ten regular season titles, 5 Big Ten tournament titles, 5-time Big Ten Coach of the Year, 2-time NSCAA Coach of the Year.
Yeah, I would have been 1 when she started coaching Penn State. You would have been, what, 10?
10? You're calling me 28 years old. I am 21. I would be 3 when she started coaching the Nittany Lions.
It's the gray hair, so that's the...
I have grays?
Yeah, just a touch.
Oh, we're going to have to take care of those. Owen's stressing me out up here on the booth as Rach looked for Schmeiser. The pass doesn't connect. Columbia the other way with it. Maybe I'll dye them the light blue of Columbia because it's a really nice blue.
It is a really nice blue. I don't think you could wear it, though.
Ooh, that's tough. No, light blue isn't my color. If you go into my wardrobe, it's mainly just dark blue and white. And, well, as a Penn State student, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it works. I showed up to the first Penn State football game versus Bowling Green wearing the completely wrong type of blue, and my friend patted me on the shoulder and said, "It's okay. We'll go shopping this week."
Did you go shopping?
Nope.
You had 2. Well, you have another week.
I have another
week.
week.
Off on the off week.
Yeah, I have another week.
Cavalier comes away with the ball left out. Ramirez passed it off, far side Root. Root has been active on the offensive end. A last-ditch effort to try to save that one goes against Penn State. So another corner kick coming for Columbia, who now be 2 up on the Nittany Lions in corner kicks, this being their 6th, Penn State with just 4.
So it's this corner kick, and looks like it's going to be Dima Elder who will come over to take it. This will be her first time taking a corner kick for Columbia, and it'll be an in-swinger from her. Columbia on that last corner kick, they tried something different. They went short, and I actually liked it. I think it was a nice change of pace.
Well, the freshman kicks this one towards the middle. Root headers it closer to Poorbaugh. Fontenot there to kick it further out, and then another defensive play gets it past midfield. That was Kolpa, the last one to get it away. Now Bitzer with it for the Lions. Gave it off to Cavalier.
And these corner kicks for Columbia, Justin, they've been high looping balls into the box, and the issue with that is that it's very tough for any player in the middle to get much power on a header if the ball is high, and, just a high, slow looping cross.
Into the 82nd minute now at Jeffrey. Time fading. But another corner kick coming for Columbia.
If you have a corner kick, you want to be able to drive the ball in. You want to give players in the box a chance to put some power on the header because it's the only way it'll beat Pourbaix. And these high kind of like chipped balls in aren't going to do much, even if a Columbia player gets on the end of it. And so far, it's been Penn State first to pretty much every corner kick.
Akinirga comes in for Columbia. 3 substitutions for the Nittany Lions. Another high looper, attempt at a header, unsuccessful. Gleason kicks it out. Bitzer there to collect. Her pass goes far. Kept in by Elder on that far side, who had just taken the corner. Back-to-back corners taken by her. Good play by D'Amico, just checked back in. Cavalier with it. Now on the Big Ten logo, given away. Amelia White just checked in alongside D'Amico and Caitlin McBean. Just left it up. Bitzer leaves it on the ground for Tabion. White takes it away. Now Rach, Julia Rach, looking for the pass to Kolpa. Taken down is Kolpa by Elder. Whistle and the foul.
That's a tough challenge, and Elder claiming that she got the ball. While she did get a touch on the ball, she went through Kolpa to get to it, and the referee correctly blowing his whistle for the foul. Julia Rach, a player for Penn State, she's going to come over to take this free kick. She's a set-piece specialist for the Nittany Lions. They like to use her alongside maybe a left-footed player on free kicks.
Rach loops it closer to Rodriguez, who comes up and comes away with it.
Yeah, it was safe hands. Penn State tried to put all of their players right in front of Rodriguez to make it difficult for her to come out. It's something we've seen a lot of professional teams do. For instance, Arsenal, a team in the Premier League that loves to kind of crowd the 6-yard box, make it difficult on corners and free kicks that are kind of impromptu corners like that one was. Penn State, a similar type of play on that free kick. However, the one lane that Lauren Rodriguez did have was right to the ball, and it was a pretty easy catch for her.
Shimon comes back in. She had left when she went down with what was an apparent cramp. Devin Olive joins her as the substitutions for the Nittany Lions. McBean trying to fight through. McBean came into the day with 9 goals. Topped the Big Ten, 3rd in the country. Had a couple of opportunities, as now this one given away by Pourbaix. Shot, score! Columbia on the takeaway. A poor pass from Pourbaix, and the Lions are on the board.
So Amanda Pourbaix, who had been solid up until that point, but a defensive mistake from her, and now with 6 minutes and 34 seconds left, maybe a chance for Columbia to get back into things. 1 goal down, a lifeline for the Lions as that ball was taken away, and the shot chipping Pourbaix into the back of the net.
It's Nada Ramirez with her 4th goal this season, pacing this Columbia team, and now Nittany Lions still have plenty of work to do as Columbia has made it a 1-score game with 6:37 to go.
Amanda Pourbaix, a similar mistake to what we saw when Virginia scored their first of 2 goals here just under a month ago, that led to the only loss for Penn State this season. And suddenly Erica Dombach a bit nervous.
Molly Martin comes back in, taking out Riley Gleason. Nittany Lions with possession, and they turn it right back over. Jung passes it off. Prusak gives it off to the far side. Cone gets it further into Ramirez, coming off her 4th goal this season, would love a 5th to tie it. Lots of contact. Columbia was looking for a whistle. That ball hops its way to Pourbaix, who collects it. Penn State's scoreless streak that had gone over 335 minutes comes to an end Nittany Lions hoping to keep their winning ways alive. Won the other day against Michigan. Only one loss on the season, which Owen has mentioned, that loss to Virginia. Game 2.
And as I was mentioning, the Nittany Lions, they don't get scored on many times, but when they get scored on, usually it's because of their own mistakes. And a mistake there from Porba, a gift to Ramirez that led to the goal. But Columbia not yet throwing everything to the Wolves. On that last attack from them, they still had 5 players back guarding just 2 Nittany Lion attackers who had stayed forward, and that's not going to be a recipe for success from the visitors. Eventually, they're going to have to change into maybe a 3-backer or allow their outside backs to join the attack, because with just over 5 minutes remaining, Columbia is only going to have 1 or 2 chances. Penn State, they know that with the ball, and they're going to slow things down here, they know that with the ball, they can hold off the Lions and make it difficult for the visitors to have much going forward.
Kaylin Wolf boots it ahead. She finds Aubrey Kolpa. Kolpa tied up with a defender. Kolpa comes away with it. It's Elder all over her, and that leads to a pass that goes the way of Justina Bitzer. Can hear from the Columbia bench, go, 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 but right now the ball staying the other way, and that whistle and foul won't help that case of go, go, go. Charlize Berry wanting to check in, not awarded it just yet. Sheeman to McBean. Rach gives it to Kolpa. Kolpa, near side corner. Now Amelia White. White dribbles it further into that corner, and it's taken away. Beautiful defensive effort by Tabion. The Lions were going to try to go kill some time in that corner. Akinirga taken down by Kaylin Wolf.
Wolf, who came in just recently for Fontenot, taking down Akinirga, and the Nittany Lions are going to throw most of their numbers back behind the ball. Every player in white in their own half. Columbia, with 3 minutes remaining, that's not what they want to do.
No, it's not. Devin Olive comes away with it, just kicks it well forward, out of play. Now Penn State going to bring a little bit of a further push on the defensive end as substitutions will be allotted here.
Referee going to stop time for those substitutions. 3 minutes remaining. Well, now under 3 minutes remaining. Columbia's issue right now is every player in blue is on the Columbia defensive half. And Penn State, they're just going to be comfortable seeing this game out in the corner.
Rach to that corner. Elder not trying to let her get there, and well, she had to pass it off to Wilson. Pass doesn't connect. Tabion comes away with it. McBean pressuring Tabion. Pass over to Root. Root goes to the ground, and the ball goes to Molly Martin. Natalie Wilson kicks it into that corner, and that will kill off another couple of seconds. Substitution for Columbia. Ojo rechecks in.
Marcia Ojo in for number 16.
Taking out Tabion.
And this is a clinic from Penn State, just kind of seeing out this match. This is exactly what Erica Dombach wants her squad to do. Keep this ball in the attacking half, slow things down. The more time the ball is out for throw-ins, the better it is for Penn State.
Now, through ball through to Cone. Cone trying to work around Askew. 12 on 12, far side. And it's going to be a corner awarded to Columbia. Heads up play by Cone to kick it off of Askew. And they quickly get it back in. This one towards the box, headered back out, but it finds Bitzer. Olive headers it further. This one back into the box, put there by Cavalier, and now kicked out by Wilson. Under 90 seconds to go in minute 89. One score game as Columbia has shut down this Nittany Lion offense in the second half. And Columbia with a goal a little while ago. Wilson looking to see what she can do. Now McBean. McBean all alone. Caitlin McBean. Shot goes wide.
Caitlin McBean, a ton of space for her. Could have seen and really put this match to bed. And that is not a finish that McBean will want to see on the replay. The striker, usually so clinical in front of goal, just misses wide. Didn't really have any pressure on her. She had time. A finish unlike the Penn State forward with 9 goals.
That one goes out. Now with 33 to go. Time ticking away. Amelia White takes her time to throw it in. She throws it long. Kept in by Columbia. Cavalier. That pass in the middle. Wilson and McBean. And now Jung with it. Under 20. Now under 15 to go. One last ditch effort maybe for Columbia. Ramirez looking for a pass to Berry. Berry with it. Berry, her shot, high, arcing and over. A last attempt at the buzzer from Charlize Berry goes high. And Penn State survives the attack of the Columbia Lions. And the Nittany Lions move to 7-1-1, getting the victory on Senior Day.